Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach. We're going to be going through the round 18 preview, and the last video I uploaded, I did do my two trades, but I've actually gone and changed a little bit with what I've done. So I've kept Tedesco. So obviously I'm still running with Tedesco as my one trade. Who did I trade out for him? Who the hell did I get rid of? Kiraz? Was it Kiraz or fuck dude, I don't even remember. But it was one of those guys around that price. So Tedesco is in. Obviously again, I would assume Tedesco is going to back up. We'll talk a bit more about that in a second, but the other trade I've gone and done is one, I've reversed trading out Barnett. We're keeping Barnett for now, and I traded out Talakai because he's come back and he's on the bench for the Sharkies, so that's just a no-go. Conor Tracy has retained that spot in the back line. Now, obviously Talakai is coming back from Origin, so maybe that's why he was put on the bench, and going forward he might maintain that spot out in the centers. But honestly, Talakai, he's been good, but I think there are better options in the back row for the run home regardless. And there's not real. I don't really want to keep Talakai for the off chance that he does sort of stay on the bench if Tracy kills it again. But that's what we're doing for now. And instead of Tarpany, we're going for the pod of David Fafita. So for one, I'm saving like 100k because Tarpany is about, not 7. He's like 680. Don't get me wrong, I do want Tarpany in the team as well. So I'll probably still look to get Tarpany if I can afford it next week. Maybe the week after. We'll see how things sort of shake up. But for Fafita, 100k, about cheaper. He's averaging 65 for the year, and he's got that starting back row spot back in the team. Coming back from injury, he played 54 minutes, scored 50 points, which is honestly fine. Like, it's not that bad for Fafita. Like, he's always sort of known as a guy that doesn't have the best base stats, but he makes up for it in attack. And he's still, he's averaged 65 for the year, which is crazy because, he's been hampered with injury for not the whole year, but he's definitely had some niggles and he's been out for a bit, obviously, lately. But to start the year, he was pretty underwhelming, but he was still scoring pretty okay. And then he went bang bang. And then here the minutes. I don't really remember what happened here for Fafita, but he obviously dropped a lot of cash, which was nice. And his run home is actually pretty good. Obviously the Titans are pretty trash, but some of the teams here, Broncos, Bulldogs, Raiders, Storm, Tough, Manly, Dragons, Newcastle Warriors, that's a pretty good run home. So, yeah, I like the pod of Fafita, and I was actually going to check. I think he's only 5% owned. He's only owned by 5% of teams, which I expect will get higher. I'm honestly surprised a lot more people aren't jumping on Fafita when he's 580,000 coming back into the starting lineup. But, I guess he hasn't shown a lot this year, but I don't know. For a pod play, again, Tarpany's been killing it. He's been getting 80, 90 points. But, if Fafita gets 65, if he gets, 60 points and Tarpany gets 80 again, it's a 20-point deficit, but Fafita has that potential to go absolutely bonkers, and that's sort of what I'm hoping for. I've got a team that's very... It's a good team, in my opinion. It's a very good team. We got good depth, but it's a team that a lot of people have. Most people at this time of year have pretty similar teams, and I feel like getting a guy like Fafita at 5% ownership That's a really good opportunity to potentially make up some points on players. But, we'll see. It could backfire. I don't think, it's not going to hurt, unless he gets injured again. Fafita's he's still averaging 65, which is really good. I mean, Ola Kawatu, who is a genuine keeper, averaging 70, it's only a 5-point increase. So, it's not bad at all. So let's go through the team, which I think we're running out. So Harry Grant, I don't know. I feel like Grant wouldn't have played, but the fact that Brandon Smith has been suspended now and the Storm have not been good, I feel like Grant is going to back up, right? I feel like he sort of has to. The Storm have not been good, so I sort of expect Grant to back up. If he doesn't, honestly, it's fine. We can just play McInnes. No worries. Well, actually, yeah, that's a little bit of a... I hope, I don't know, maybe it has been sort of confirmed. I have to look at it, but... Yeah, the first game for the Sharks. So McInnes plays the first game of the round tomorrow. I guess I could start McInnes and then Harry Grant we play as a reserve. Not the worst thing in the world, because McInnes hopefully will still score decently. And I'm a bit unsure with my reserve. So maybe that's what we do. We start McInnes just in case Grant gets ruled out, so we don't cop a auto emergency, which wouldn't be, again, not too bad. We don't have that many players that are going to stink it up. The front row, Papali'i, Tamalolo, obviously should be no worries there. The back row, Olakwatu, Elliott. I mean, again, I have to play Elliott. I mean, look at my man. His run, the last fucking... Look at this shit. 99, 92, 80, and 77. He played 49 minutes and he got 77 points. And I'm pretty sure he didn't score a try. It was just unreal. He's been incredible. So, I mean, as it is, I just have to start Elliott. There's no options there. And then Dave Fafita is my third back rower. And honestly, the back row is looking a little bit more stacked now. I would love to get Tarpany. He's definitely the next guy. And I still think Barnett, hopefully Barnett scores well again this week. He can, with that 97, hopefully make some good money. And then we can hopefully just swing Barnett to Tarpany probably next week. And hoping Tarpany doesn't go big again and make a bunch more cash. But I'm hoping we can go Barnett to Tarpany. Maybe have to make a little bit of cash somewhere, but we'll see. Nathan Cleary, I think it was confirmed early that the Panthers players are all going to get rested. I mean, after that Origin game, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted to back up and play against the Tigers. But, I think Ivan Cleary he confirmed it before the game that they wouldn't back up. So we'll start Nico Hines, no problem there. Cameron Munster, I'm pretty sure he's back. It's funny that, he was out with COVID and he couldn't play on Wednesday, but he is going to be playing on Sunday. But, I mean, that's sort of the world we live in, unfortunately. I'm pretty sure, is he named? I'm just quickly looking at my my phone here. That's not the right game. Give me the right game, please. Storm Raiders. Not an easy game, honestly. Yeah, it looks like, well, he's named. Yeah, on the team sheet, Harry Grant is obviously starting. Because they don't really have any other good real dummy half options. I mean, they got Tyron Wishart, who is okay, but not great. So, yeah, Harry Grant, he should play. And then Cameron Munster is named as well, so... And also Jack Whiten, who probably should have played in Game 3, but that's for another video if we talk about Origin. Dylan Brown, we have to decide if we're going to reserve, and we'll go through the reserves in a second. Ruben Garrick, Joey Manu, Taylor May, and Micah Sevo are my four starters. Ryan Pappenhausen, James Tedesco. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. A little tricky with these two as to who do I vice captain and captain. My reserves, obviously, it's going to be out of Tedesco, Pappenhausen, one of the reserves. I think, well, let's have a look. Who are the best options? So Tedesco, I've got Tedesco, Sawali at the moment, just because they're taking on the Dragons, and I feel like he's in for a potential big one, has very good upside. And then we need two more out of Brown, Barnett, Crichton, I guess King or McInnes. So not King, even though he has been punching up big numbers. I wouldn't go King. Crichton, I don't know. I mean, again, they're taking on the Dragons, but does Crichton play? I mean, if he starts, I feel like I've got to play Crichton just because, surely they're going to be fired up for a bit of redemption, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Roosters put on a bit of a score against the Dragons. And Crichton is sort of due for some attacking points, so I probably go Crichton, and then the Eels are playing the Warriors. So I got to go Dylan Brown. So, it's sort of nice that Cleary he's not going to back up, because otherwise I would have obviously reserved him or Hines and had to choose a captain out of those two, or vice captain. Probably Cleary is just the obvious captain choice, but then I would have to choose a lesser reserve. So that's pretty good. That's pretty solid. I think that's how we line up. I mean, Barnett, Barnett's good. I mean, he got 97 points, so I wouldn't be opposed playing him, but taking on the Seagulls, I feel like that could be a tough game for them. And then obviously McInnes also is a pretty solid play regardless, but the fact Grant is named and there's no Brandon Smith, I feel like I don't need to start McInnes. I feel like this is just the better option, and I feel like this is a good upside reserves. Swali, he could only get 40-50, but he has the potential to go to 100. Dylan Brown, similar. Obviously Tedesco, and then Crichton. If he plays big minutes, then it'll be nice. But we'll look at again. Let's have a quick squiz at the Roosters team. I feel like these are never that up to date when they sort of just name them, but we'll have a look. We'll have a quick look. Joey Manu is still at 6. With no Luke Keary, so that's always good. I mean, I could honestly, Joey Manu is not a bad, he's not a bad vice captain option. I feel like that's who I might, I don't know. We'll look at that in a second. At the moment, it's got all the guys backing up, but who knows? I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Roosters have Nat Butcher on the bench who can play big minutes in the back row, so whether or not Crichton plays, I don't know. It's annoying, the Origin, I love Origin, but it is annoying for sort of Supercoach and and trying to tip who's going to win as well. But let's just go with that for now. I'll have a better look at sort of late mail in a second, but or after the video to decide. But let's look at captain, vice captain options. So obviously Tedesco, Pappenhausen, very good options. I think, the Storm taking on the Raiders. I feel like, it's at Amy Park. All the big boys are back, probably. And the Storm are being trash. So I feel like, and if he's coming off a 49, I feel like it's such a good option this week. And then Tedesco. But again, Tedesco is coming off an Origin loss. They're taking on the Dragons at Central Coast Stadium in an afternoon, beautiful 3 p.m. game. I haven't looked at weather, but hopefully it's nice weather. He could be in for a big score. Joey Manu at 5'8" has been absolutely unstoppable. I mean, if we look at Joey Manu's last few scores, dude, he's been absolutely killing it. He's got 77, 130, 65, 85, 97 against the Panthers. So, yeah, he's definitely matchup proof against any team if he's playing 5'8". And then you've got Cameron Munster, you got Nico Hines, even like a Dave Fafita vice captain isn't bad. Harry Grant isn't bad. But who do I vice captain? So who's playing? The Roosters play the third game. So I feel like, but that's the thing. I honestly, I think this is the better option. I vice captain Joey Manu and I put the captaincy on, or I could vice captain Hines. Oh no. Oh, this is where, honestly, I'm not. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I do not like the way the captaincy works in Supercoach. Like literally now, and this is honestly where I start to lose a bit of, I just lose a bit of enjoyment for Supercoach this time of year because everybody has pretty similar teams and it all just rides on who you captain. Like that's literally all that matters. It's all that matters, which I don't like. Obviously it depends, like, you lose interest if you're a bit outside the top echelon, but even now I'm like, man, it's just a luck of the draw. Like it's just a roll of the dice. Like people can look at matchups all you want, but it's just all luck. It's all luck. And I mean, Supercoach is it's enough luck without the captaincy, the way the captaincy works at the moment. But I feel like, I mean, the Sharks aren't like. The Cowboys are going to be missing a bunch of players, but it's still at Queensland Country Bank Stadium, which is a tough game. Like, it's just a tough road trip. And the Cowboys, even with a lot of players missing, like, their core players are still really good. Like, Townsend's going to be there, Tamalolo, a bunch of other guys, but they're going to be missing a lot. Like, Dearden, Gilbert, Holmes, Nanai. I mean, I don't know if there any are backing up, but I feel like most won't. So, I mean, Hines wouldn't be a bad vice captain, but I don't know. And then the Roosters. No, I feel like I like the Roosters a little bit better. The vice captaincy on Manu, and then the captaincy on Pappenhausen. I think that's the way to go. Because obviously I can't. If I was going to go Captain Tedesco, I could. Because, yeah, I can't go Vice Captain Tedesco because then I can't Captain Pappenhausen. And the only other good, I mean, Harry Grant. I guess Munster. I forgot about damn Munster. But honestly, Munster is a bit hit or miss. So I wouldn't trust Munster. But I guess I have Munster and Harry Grant. I could put the captaincy on if I viced Tedesco. But no, I feel like just go with my initial instincts. My initial thought was that I'm captaining Pappenhausen this week. Obviously, it's a little bit worrying that he looked injured, like pretty much that whole game. He kept copping knocks and his finger, his back, he was struggling. So that's the only thing I'm a little bit worried about. Like, is he even going to goal kick? If he doesn't goal kick, I'll be fucking furious. But I don't know. That's the only thing. Like, if it's not for that, like I would definitely put it on Pappenhausen. But the fact that he was struggling all sorts in that game, that it's got me concerned. But that was my initial thought. Captain Pappenhausen, and yeah, we'll vice Manu. Because the good thing with this, if I vice captain Manu, I can actually loop if I go Manu, because I've got Grant Anderson. in the game later, so I can swing Anderson in probably for Sevo. No, I can't do it for Sevo. I'll have to do it for Taylor May. which wouldn't be the worst with all the Panthers players out. So I could swing Anderson for Taylor May and obviously put the C on Anderson and get Manu's points. So I can actually use the vice captaincy loophole if Manu goes huge. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing for now. I'm worried. I'm just worried this time of year because, yeah, you just don't know exactly who's going to back up well. The captaincy is such a huge swing. I guess there is a thought you put the captaincy on just sort of a fairly just solid player like a Papali'i, but nah, I feel like Pappenhausen's got to pick it up. He got 49. Because if we look at his scores, I feel like there's going to be a correlation to like a low score and then a big score, right? He went 71, 51, low score, and then went bang, 107, then 193, if you don't mind if I do. Then he went 39, and like I'm sure that would have killed a lot of people because they would have saw he was 193 and were like, I got to captain him, and he goes 39. And then he bounces back a little bit with 67, not bad. Then he goes 155, 107, then 76, which is good, but not what he was doing, and then goes bang again with 135. Well, that's a little what's it called? Not really correlated because obviously he was injured. He only played the 50 minutes in this game, scored 76, got injured, and then his first game back he got 135, 49, and then I'm just hoping for a big one against the Raiders. I mean, the Raiders are a funny team, dude. Like they can play good footy, but it's I feel like I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm not. I'm not. So yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the Supercoach action. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.